Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the fabulous forum here in the City of Champions, Inglewood, California, USA. Live on Dazn and Sky Sports, where tonight, Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing USA is proud to present an evening of World Championship Boxing. Sponsored by Tecate, the official beer of boxing, and JD Sports. This bout is sanctioned under the auspices of the California State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Mr. John Carvelli. Introducing your three judges scoring this contest from ringside: Rudy Barragan, Daniel Sandoval, and Fernando Villarreal. After sound of the bell, your third man in the ring, referee Thomas Taylor. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing scheduled at a 151-pound catch weight. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing with his head trainer, Romulo Quirarte Jr. He wears the black with gold trim. He scaled 150.4 pounds. His professional record, 69 victories, 9 defeats, 2 draws, 1 no decision, and 37 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former 2-division, 3-time champion of the world. Damas y caballeros, presentando de los Mochis, Sinaloa, y representando Tijuana, Baja California, introducing Humberto La Zorrita Soto. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands with his head trainer, Freddie Roach. He wears the white with gold trim. He also scaled 150.4 pounds. His professional record, 28 victories, 2 defeats, 2 draws, and 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBA and IBO super lightweight champion of the world and the former WBO welterweight champion of the world, introducing Jessie, the pride of Las Vegas, Vargas.
We know Jessie quite well here. Jessie Vargas calls some of the fights here on Dazn on some of the different venues that are available, so he's been able to sit back and observe as well. He says he's learned a lot from being able to watch other fighters and see what works and maybe what doesn't work. Tonight goes in against a guy who could exploit any weaknesses or any flaws.
Protect yourselves at all times, listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner, gentlemen.
We've got world title fights at 115 pounds. We've got a unification at 122 pounds. And here tonight, right now, Jessie Vargas moving up in weight to super welter or junior middleweight, 154 pounds eventually in his first fight with Freddie Roach. And we'll get to see what Vargas has tonight against a veteran.
And Vargas looked like he filled out nicely. He doesn't look soft. You know, he still looks muscular. He still looks strong. We're going to see if he's able to carry that weight and carry that speed.
Soto going right after him. Soto's told us as he could be cut there as their heads collided immediately. Thomas Taylor is on that.
Got an accidental headbutt, no cut. Hang on a sec. You all right? You ready to go? All right, let's go. Watch the heads, guys.
They went right after each other there, and I saw a bit of a crease on the forehead of Soto. I don't know if he had that coming in, Sergio, or that's new. But there's no blood.
I was going to say, I would love to see Humberto Soto start strong, and it's uncharacteristic for him to be so strong like that, but he's doing it.
Soto said, you know, I never say this, but I'm going to see if I can knock him out. And he has come out very strong right here. Putting pressure on the younger man. Vargas in a fight immediately, jabbing hard now, and each a jab from Soto.
Work out of it, guys, work out of it.
Soto is looking for his 70th win. There are many fighters on the planet with 69 professional wins. And they are throwing hard here in the first round.
You know, I spoke to Soto before the fight, and he kind of took umbrage with the idea that Jessie Vargas was the physically stronger fighter.
That's a beautiful jab from Soto, too. Sergio, that's straight up the middle. That's a hard jab. That's a pole of a jab.
That's a power jab, and I love seeing those power jabs because you catch your opponent off guard. If it lands right on the on the bridge of the nose, it can cause big damage.
Soto in his 82nd professional fight. Good jab there by Vargas. Has the attention of Jessie Vargas, who again, top 10 welterweight, and that's saying something in this day and age.
I got it.
With the dash, and down he goes.
I would like to see if that was low, but that's a great body shot.
Yeah, that's what Thomas Taylor is saying.
It's a little low.
He's saying a little low.
Stay right here. Stay right here. Okay, get those up to me, all right? Stay right there. You all right? Okay. Ready to go? All right.
Hard-hitting fight. By the way, he has 5 minutes if he wanted them. He took 5 seconds.
Well, Soto's back was towards us, but I want to see if it landed and straight low or it was just a good body shot or borderline.
It's hard shots right away here in round one. That is the type of fight that he got into with Delorme early on. And one thing Soto said was, hey, this guy has a plan, he has a strategy, and then when he gets hit and it gets feisty, that's when things change. So I think that's what they're banking on here, that Vargas will get into a war and not box. And you just have to appreciate the fire that Soto has brought immediately. He comes in looking like an older guy. He's not in the same shape. You know, he's just not as fleshed out as Vargas, not as sexy walking in, and yet the guy knows how to fight.
In his last fight, I said that he looked like someone's grandfather, and you know what? That's not a knock. I mean, he's been in there with a lot of great fighters. But
is that a compliment?
No, well, he fights like he's a young man, and he still has that fire. And after that upset win against Brandon Rios, we see that fire still burning.
Yeah, no question, Sergio, and that's a short hook from Soto. Good fire straight up the middle from Vargas there. Excellent action here at the end of round one.
Look at this.
Right there.
Woo!
And here's that replay. We didn't really get a good look at it because Soto's back was towards us, but it was borderline. See, I like the fact that it wasn't a low blow like that. It was a borderline blow. It was a good body shot. The cup was a little high, but still a low blow.
I don't, Sergio, that's low. I mean, there's low and there's not low. That's low, right?
It wasn't in the groin, was it?
No, but it's below the belt. What you call a low blow. Again, there could be a disqualification. There could be 5 minutes. You could be waiting. There was just a warning. I think Taylor handled it appropriately, but that was low.
Referee did call it right.
Humberto Soto beat Rocky Juarez in 2005. David Diaz in 2010, and John Molina Jr. in 2014. Chris, your thoughts on what we saw in round one?
Look, Soto came out extremely aggressive, which is what you expected. But one thing you have to remember with these power punches, Soto's best days came at 126 pounds, 130 pounds, 135 pounds. So he's throwing strong punches. I just wonder what kind of pop they have on them.
Yeah, when he did get his losses, his high-profile losses, one was to Matisse. They bang heads again.
Vargas is cut.
Hey, stay right there.
Vargas had a bad cut in the last fight in October against Delorme, and he has it there in a bad spot
I got
again.
An accidental headbutt with a cut. Stay here, Jesse. Let's see you.
Vargas was badly cut in that fight, but it
Right,
really didn't affect the fight.
both guys. Mark, let me take a look at it. Doc, Jeff, come up here, take a look at it.
Jacob Duran, also known as Stitch Duran, is in the corner for Vargas. So he's going to have some work to do, but he's the best in the business.
Guys, both you guys, watch those heads, all right? Time in.
Sergio, your thoughts on why they're clashing like this, just the sheer aggression?
Just how fast they're starting. They both got to match each other's aggression, so that's the reason they clash. But they're not bad cuts. I think they can continue fighting.
Vargas fought well and was distracted only slightly in the last fight against Delorme, and he was marked up. So he has a history of getting cut and reacting well. That is not in a great spot, though. That is just above the eye. Hopefully it bleeds out toward the outside as Vargas connects with a hook.
It's going to be a nuisance for Vargas, but it's not going to be where the fight's going to get stopped or the doctor needs to see it again. It's going to be all right for right now.
You wonder how Soto will react to the pace as well. He has set out a tremendous work rate. And hard punches, he lands a right hand.
And we wondered that in his last fight with Brandon Rios. I mean, he had a tremendous work rate, but the difference is Rios let him take rounds off and fight against the ropes. I don't think Vargas is going to let him do that.
Vargas, I have a feeling, expected something a little slower going in against Humberto Soto and his rise to junior middleweight. He is in a fight. Now, he's not boxing, and so maybe there's something to what Soto in his corner said. Hey,
no punch.
If you go in out and try to slug with this guy, he'll stand there and slug with you.
I didn't expect Soto to start this fast, considering he's a smaller fighter coming up. But he wants to get his respect, and he's doing it.
One thing you have to remember, too, is that Soto, he fought just 62 days ago.
Let him go.
So maybe he thinks he has to come out, try to get him out of there early because his stamina might wane late.
Good head movement there by Soto.
Pull that arm out, Jesse.
Get a man who has fought for 22 years as a professional alone is going to have a lot of subtle movements. That's a good body shot by Vargas. Wild hook missed.
Stop. Straight back. Guys, watch those heads. Let's go.
A low shot there by Vargas. Trying the hook. Lands the right hand.
Stop. No punch.
Is it me, Sergio, or is Jesse's chin up a little higher than normal than from other fighters? I mean, his head is held high, isn't it?
He sometimes fights like that because he's trying to get really good leverage in his shot, so he has to stand a little erect like that. But yes, when you're fighting with a veteran like Soto, you're going to get loop-in punches, so you better tuck that chin and bend that back a little bit.
I'm saying, you know, his chin is out there, as they say, like a lantern in a storm. You know, I mean, you can see it.
That eye of Jessie Vargas.
Good action here in the first 2 rounds. Now we get to go to Todd Grisham and the champ, the Hall of Famer, Sugar Ray Leonard. Todd?
Thank you, Brian. Sugar Ray Leonard here needs no introduction, but we give him one anyway. In the main event, Srisset Sorungbasai back in action. He struggled to make weight a little bit, Ray. What does that tell you?
Well, the fact of the matter is, making weight for most fighters is as tough or even tougher than the opposition, than the fighter. A lot of times it's mental and it's spiritual, but it's a tough thing to overcome.
You know, Tommy Hearns, you said in his first fight against you, really struggled on the scale. What impact did that have?
Well, Tommy looked emaciated on the scale. I mean, it was tough for him to make that weight. But that night in the ring, he was not the same guy. He hydrated and got big. Don't always trust that.
You won that fight.
I know that.
Back to you guys.
Todd, Sugar Ray, thank you very much. Ready for round 3. Brian Kenny, Chris Mannix, Sergio Mora here ringside. Jessie Vargas versus Humberto Soto. Excellent first 2 rounds in this fight. You know, Jessie Vargas moving up to 154. Todd, I think it's fair to say it's not as star-studded as welterweight 147, but there are some good names up there. You wonder, who do you think Jessie could match up with if he gets by Humberto Soto?
Well, look, he wants a piece of Jaime Munguia, who we saw just a couple of weeks ago defend his title down in Mexico, but I'd be surprised if Jaime Munguia's handlers want to put him anywhere near an experienced fighter like Jessie Vargas. So it's tough. You have to go across the street and make some of the fights that are there against the Jarrett Hurd or against the Tony Harris.
Yep. Arislandi Lara ranked highly as well. Harrison, Jermell Charlo.
Jesse, let him go, Jesse. All right, stop. No punch.
Kell Brook still at 154. But you're right, Munguia, politically, right? The business sense would make the most sense.
Well, the Kell Brook fight is especially amusing because Jessie Vargas has been chasing Kell Brook. Kell Brook has been chasing Amir Khan. Nobody seems to want to fight each other in that trio.
They are slinging some leather here, I'm telling you. Humberto Soto, he has 80 fights. He's there. He's only been dropped 1 time, and his chin is holding up here against Vargas.
And Soto, this is where he wants it. He said he got hit low. I don't know if that one was low at all. I think Vargas hit that one clean. Soto has to love the terms of engagement, though, Sergio. Stand in front and trade.
Oh, this is his fight. I mean, he doesn't want to go chasing around Vargas around the ring. So if he can fight and stay in the inside and land something in between, absolutely, that's Humberto Soto's fight.
And I wonder, Sergio, too, I thought Jessie Vargas showed a great plan B against Delorme in this last fight, change tactics. Can he change tactics here and not stand right in front of Soto and box?
Well,
right now, he have that ability?
No, he absolutely has that ability, but the bravado takes over him because he knows he can outgut, he can outman the man here. So he's landing some good shots, especially the left hook, but it's too early for me, and especially there might be some urgency considering he's cut also.
Yeah, that cut is not trickling into his eye. It doesn't appear, easy for us to say, but here that eye is still wide open. So Vargas boxes on and is able to box and go to war.
Vargas was throwing a power jab downstairs to Soto's body, hoping that he can catch him off guard and come around with the left hook, but it didn't work with the veteran Soto. He blocked that.
Final 30 seconds of round 3, action-packed so far. Yeah, Soto in the first 2 rounds, by the way, averaging 72 punches per round. And it's not just the work rate. There's a nice hook by Vargas as they were clinching. It's not the work rate. He is throwing these punches hard. It's full throttle.
And he's setting up those left hooks by throwing the jab, the power jab downstairs to the torso, trying to set up the left hook.
Next week in Las Vegas, Canelo Alvarez, Daniel Jacobs. That should be exciting. We look forward to that. Seeing you all here next week. Here ringside now at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Humberto Soto in the black trunks, Jessie Vargas in the white. The pride of Las Vegas coming to Los Angeles to train with his new trainer, Freddie Roach, but he has his hands full with the 38-year-old Soto.
Freddie Roach said that he wanted Vargas to stay off the ropes and use ring generalship, not to overthink his punches, and I think he's doing that so far.
Right hand answer from Soto. Vargas able to flash out a quick jab. Sergio, I think you're right. As you see the power punches landed. Wow, Soto outlanding Vargas in the power shots. I think Vargas feels like if he stays in close, he's going to be the quicker man. He's going to land better. I don't know if that's been the case so far.
Well, he's definitely the bigger man, but right now Soto's pushing him around, landing some good shots in between. I mean, this is a back and forth fight so far.
Missed. It's a follow, even though it's thrown very hard. But you have to appreciate, though, that the fans here do like this. They like the intensity of the action because they were booing earlier. I don't know if it was completely warranted, but this is a tough crowd.
They don't like a boxer bouncing on his toes. They want this action, mano a mano. I mean, they're both landing some good shots, and I'll tell you what, Humberto Soto's been caught with some solid punches by Vargas, and he's taking them. So, I mean, the chin's not fake. He could take a punch, even at the higher weights.
And Vargas was able to drop Thomas Delorme in the 10th round in that last fight. Nice jab by Vargas again. So he does have some power, although he is not usually a guy who will knock someone out or drop him with one shot.
Look at these punches being landed. Vargas is landing an overhand left. Soto's the one keeping his chin up in the air, but he's taking those punches.
All right, stop. No punch. No punch. Stay back.
A lot of those shots just missing, but you can see the ferocity, all the power behind them. Yes, Soto just comes straight up the middle and will land with an overhand right. And his counter right is dangerous, Sergio, very dangerous.
No, any counter's dangerous. I mean, look at these punches right here. They're sharp punches.
Good short right hands from Soto, coming in and having a little more success now against Vargas.
And the reason he's having success because he's depending on his technique. He knows he can punch with a younger, stronger fighter because he has technique.
Vargas takes a deep breath and re-engages.
See, technique is everything, Brian. It's over speed, it's over power. When you have technique, you can have confidence in going combination and punch for punch with a younger, stronger fighter.
Yeah, good counter hook there by Vargas at the end of this round. This has been good.
You are working in a perfectly way. You have the fight winning now. Don't leave the plan. You have only one problem. One to the mouth and then upper. You're in distance. All the hits that you are throwing to the face, you're going to hit him. You're doing a great job. Don't stay in the middle. Don't stay in the middle. Combinations are right.
Body shot right there, okay? There you go. Be first for me. Let's go, son. Good work, good work.
Let's go, guys. Chris Mannix, Soto's corner, thinks they're winning rounds now. What do you think? These rounds seem close.
They're very close. I've got this fight even through 4 rounds, but there's been at least 3 of them that have been very tough to score on this card.
Understand what you're trying to do with the cut. Got to get some of it out.
Thomas Taylor is going to take control here against Stitch Durand
got to get some of it
in
out.
the corner.
There you go, there you go. Good. Get over there. Time in.
Vargas said he was more comfortable, felt more explosive training, being able to put on a few extra pounds. Freddie Roach had said, hey, look, I'm not a big fan of guys cutting weight. He said when he got first Miguel Cotto and people said, hey, how come Cotto's always smiling around you? He said, I fed him. So,
Watch those
I don't,
hands,
your
watch
thoughts, does Vargas look any different to you guys at 151?
No, he looks the same, and he carried that weight comfortably. I mean, he looks muscular, he looks right, his speed looks on point, but right now he's in there with a veteran that's been in around the block many times, and he knows how to time a fighter, a younger, faster fighter.
Able to get in that jab to the body as well, the cagey move. Soto was a big underdog last time out against Brandon Rios, who was coming off a win over Ramon Alvarez, Canelo's brother. And so then he beat Rios over 12 rounds in Tijuana. He said he got back into the gym 5 days later. He knew there'd be a big opportunity waiting for him after that win, and he was right. Here's Jessie Vargas.
Well, that's not going to be the case after that cut, because automatically you get suspended for at least 30 days. So we're not going to see Jessie Vargas in the next 2 or 3 months, that's for sure.
Got that, guys. Let go of his arm, Jesse.
You know, Jessie Vargas is no stranger to new trainers. This is at least his 9th trainer as a professional. But going to Freddie Roach, there's a very big difference of how Jessie Vargas has fought most of his career to how Freddie Roach wants Jessie Vargas to fight.
Stop, stop. No punch. No punch. Straight back.
Yeah, he was saying, Chris, that he could make things easier for himself. I don't know if he has in this fight, or maybe he just hasn't had the opportunity.
No, it's on the belt line,
Freddie's
on
an
the belt.
offensive-oriented coach. He wants these fighters to come forward. He wants them to be first. That really hasn't been Jessie Vargas for much of his career.
No, Jessie Vargas goes the distance. He's a distance fighter. He has enough power to hurt you, but he's a distance fighter. And Freddie Roach is an offensive fighter, that's for sure. An offensive trainer, excuse me.
Hard exchanges here between the two here in round 5, as Soto at the age of 38 has been able to keep up the work rate.
And not for nothing, but Humberto Soto has a great trainer in his corner in Romulo Quirate as well. He's been around for many, many years, has trained many, many champions. So greatness in both corners as far as trainers.
Good hook there by Vargas on the way in, didn't do too much to Soto. They seem to be thrilled with what Soto is doing. Perfect, I think, is what they said. Perfect in his execution. He's having a very good night. Now, is that enough to win rounds? That's another story. I'm not sure. Chris Mannix is doing the judging for us here as he's calling it, so it's an unofficial card, obviously, and it's difficult, and I wonder how the judges are seeing it.
Well, we know this is going to be a distance fight. Vargas doesn't knock out opponents, and when it comes to Soto, he goes the distance.
Hey, right there.
Big flurry by both. Not much landing there at the end of the round, but the high work rate continues.
Okay, y le dejaste ganar el round sin que te tocara ni siquiera, okay? No hay que permitir rounds, hijo. Tienes toda la pelea controlada.
Trying to steal that round, lost 10 seconds. Jesse, you put him on the ropes, that's perfect, okay? Jab him back, put him on the ropes, you know the right hand to the body, okay? Very nice shot. That right hook to the body was beautiful. Come on, I want to see a little bit more of that behind the jab, okay? Use that jab as a decoy and go with the right hook to the body for me, okay? Rip him with that, okay? Speed. Come on, speed is power.
Freddie Roach looking for some speed from Jessie Vargas. I got the sense, fellas, that there was a little less starch on those punches in that last round.
Freddie Roach wants speed and power, and Humberto Soto's corner, they're thrilled where his man is at right now. They like what they're seeing from Soto.
And Brian, body language isn't everything, but did Jessie Vargas look in the corner like a guy that felt he was winning the fight or doing things effectively? Didn't to me.
He looked a little gassed. And maybe he is. He's in against a very highly motivated veteran who sees big things on the horizon. He said, you know, eats a jab there, that
Jesse,
he has been able to fight on through all these years, even with losses to Joan Guzman, who was very good around 2007, Lucas Matisse, who was a buzzsaw at 140 in 2012. But he said he doesn't party, he doesn't drink, he stays disciplined. And so here he is, 38 years old, and outlanded so far, according to CompuBox, but he has landed his fair share of hard, punishing shots. And a hard right hand by Vargas, and down goes Soto.
4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come here. Come here. You all right? Want to go? Let's go.
Vargas with the right hand. It was beautiful, just as it was against Delorme. And that's a fight changer.
It's an opportunity for Jessie Vargas. He hurt Humberto Soto there.
Hard body shot, came right in with the hook to follow up. Now he's looking for the right hand. Soto is up against the ropes. He is hurt. Another body shot by Vargas. And a right hand. Soto on shaky legs and eats another right hand right on the jaw. Soto is hurt, trying to stay up. Can Vargas finish the show? Yes, he can. Spectacular finish by Jessie Vargas, and he earned it.
For a man that's not known for getting knockouts, he got the knockout against a man that's only been down once in 80 fights.
It was during one of those wild exchanges, too, and Vargas that time was shorter and sharper with the right hand.
And Soto seemed disappointed because he knew that he was doing well in that round, but he got caught getting a little bit too aggressive at the end of a right hand by Vargas, and he couldn't shake off the cobwebs.
It's a tremendous effort by Soto. For Jessie Vargas, he has to be pleased with the way it turns out. He was cut. He had an older guy right in front of him, pounding away. Soto's corner thought it was going perfectly, and he changed things in that 6th round.
And that's what you got to do with older champions and veterans and guys that go the distance, guys that aren't used to getting knocked out. If you could stop older, cagey, former champions like this, that's what makes a statement.
And Sergio, I love the way he reacted after the knockdown, too. Vargas did. You see the mutual respect there, obviously. It's a nice scene here between these two fighters. Vargas has to show respect to Soto the way Soto came out and made him work.
It shows character, it shows what type of person they are, not only as fighters, but as men. Here we have the first knockdown. Caught him right dead center in the nose and in the face. It just, those type of shots you can't take cleanly, especially as a 38-year-old, because your legs aren't gonna let you stay up. Your heart might think different, but your legs say another thing.
That was a beautiful right hand. And as I was saying, Sergio, the way he reacted afterwards, I thought it was a beautiful strategy and execution. Controlled mayhem from Vargas to finish it.
Controlled mayhem by a guy that's not used to being in these mayhem situations, but he got his man hurt. He finished him, but look at how cool and relaxed Soto was, because the more relaxed he was, the more he could take those punches. But you can't take punches by a bigger man like that.
Remember, he had Tim Bradley hurt late, had him on the run after Bradley was outboxing him basically the whole fight. But he had his man on the run, couldn't quite finish Bradley there. It was very late. But this same man, I mean, think about it. I mentioned Pacquiao and Bradley. He beat Saddam Ali, Antonio DeMarco, Stevie Forbes, Josecito Lopez, Vivian Harris. He's 29 years old. He's been in there with the very best. He had a good test here tonight. He had an excellent test against Delorme last time out. This one with a much better finish. Let's go to the ring and David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Thomas Taylor calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 48 seconds of round number 6. Your winner by knockout, the fighting pride of Las Vegas, Jessie Vargas.